Hey guys, Real World Prepper here. Gonna do another little quick video today. Touch on a couple of things. One, I'm going to talk a little bit about security, fortifying your house and your place, and also want to touch on something that myself and two prepper buddies are planning on doing soon. So if you like the content that you see in this video, please click that subscribe button. Here we go. Hey everybody, just wanted to say stick around to the end of the video for an announcement that might interest you. Thanks. Okay, in an earlier video by Kansas Prepper, and I'm gonna attempt to put the link to his video in there, he talked about some security measures for your home. He had some very good ideas. Cameras, he talked about wireless versus wired cameras and the security aspects of that. Look at his video, it's good information. Mainly he talked about some film you can put on your windows that will make them kind of shatterproof. They can be broken and splintered and everything, but it makes it a lot tougher to break through. He also talked about putting longer screws through your striker plates in your doors. Actually replacing the doors in some instances with wood-filled, steel-clad doors. Lots of other things. I wanted to add a few things of my own to that thought process, and part of this is going to be for preventative, for before SHTF, and part of this is going to be for after SHTF. I'm going to move over here because I'm going to put in the shot some images which probably are going to be popping up now in the video. Flower boxes, planters, and things like that. Window planters. There are lots of ones that I've seen. You guys can look these things up. There's lots of them that are literally made for security, to be bulletproof, to be or bullet resistant, I should say. Concrete planters, some of them have layers, multiple layers of thin steel stacked together. They say that that's a good bullet stopper. Again, if you're seeing these images pop up, you'll get some of the ideas. I imagine you could pour and mold some of these yourself. You could even take pavers that you get like at Home Depot or Lowe's and stack those up around. make you a raised flower bed, you know, in front of the windows. The trick is you don't want to put so much foliage and growth up around your house that somebody could hide between it and your house. But at the same time, if you could fortify the lower level of your house, say from the bottom of your windows down, you know, were there to be a shootout, let's say, or something like that, you know, you've got some cover that will absorb some bullets, not to mention just some cover that you can get behind and return fire if you had to. Another thing that I plan to do, and I'll take you around in a minute and show you, is cut down some 2x4s and 2x6s and actually board up the windows. This isn't an after the fact deal here. Now the flower boxes would be something you could do, you know, on the beforehand, but on the after the fact, you know, say it's all gone down and people are trying to bust into houses and things, that's just one way. Take you some super long screws, some 2x4s, 2x6s, whatever you got, you put them up on your windows, you screw them right into the studs on either side of the windows, you run them down, maybe leave a gap or two that you can see out of, get a rifle barrel through, that kind of thing. We're going to talk about a little bit more of that. Also, I'm going to take you along with me right now, and we're just going to talk about privacy fence. Okay, so this is not, I mean, people can get in and around privacy fence, but imagine if you had a roll of barbed wire or Constantino wire, razor wire, or anything that you could easily employ. I say easily, I mean it might take you a little bit to do, but that you could employ along the upper edges. Again, these are some after the fact ideas. That is not one that I have. I do have a plan to do the 2x4s on the windows. I do plan on taking some of Kansas Prepper's advice and putting longer screws in my door hinges and in the striker plates, and some other things. We're actually talking about employing some cameras as well. We just haven't done that. But anyway, we're going to go in here and take a look at some of these other things. Okay guys, we're in my house. I'm going to show you a few examples like we were talking about around the windows here. You see the window, okay? So there are studs, you know, most window casings, you know, and you can use a stud finder if you need to, but there's going to be studs right here where this stuff is, where your windows are built in. So this is what I'd be talking about, putting big long screws through 2x4s and running these boards across. You could probably even just do it from, you know, the bottom up to a certain level. You would still probably want to allow for some light. I really don't know. I mean, you'd have to just see what your scenario called for and what you feel comfortable doing. And of course, this is a, you know, after SHTF scenario, okay? Obviously, it's not ideal to board up your windows, you know, in everyday life. But also, you know, a wrought iron security door that is properly installed and buttressed. And then of course, Kansas Prepper made mention of taking these striker plates, which you see this is very old and loose, excuse me, which I need to do, and replace these screws. This whole thing probably needs to be replaced. You know, but our thing is, we're thinking that, you know, this is a pretty stout door to have to get through. You could even replace these pins with bigger ones. This thing's pretty stout, so not to say somebody couldn't get through it, but you know, it is what it is. But you could take, again, and you know, 2x4s, you know, going across and just screw them in. Think the movie Signs, right, with Mel Gibson, and when the aliens came and they boarded up all the doors and windows, something to that effect. And if I were to do that, I would leave little gaps so that I could see out, maybe even put the barrel of a rifle through there. You know, just one idea. Okay, so scattered throughout my shop here and in other places, I do have, there's 2x4s and 2x6s and things. I've got stacks of them up here. We've got some plywood pieces. There's more tucked away back there, up top. I've got some outside. I've got some under the deck that you can see out there. Kind of got a little bit of it everywhere. Some of it old, some of it new. And so this would be the wood that we would talk about putting along, screwing into your 2x in front of your windows or from the inside. Now, I would probably, I suppose, do it out here in the shop too, you know, if it came down to it, because I would want it to be fortified as well. I keep a lot of goods out here. It's possible that in the right scenario, we might just, or the wrong scenario, you know, we might move everything from out here into the house and just make the house, you know, the secure location, because you never know what you're going to be dealing with. So anyway, so that's what I've got, and that's kind of, you know, our contingency plan. I have a plan to take this stuff, this wood, and cut it down to size so I have the right amount of pieces per the right length, so if ever I need to employ it. And I've got thousands of screws that are 3 and 4 inches long, so, or I think I've got some longer ones too. But anyway, so you get the general idea. All right, so I showed you around a little bit and just kind of pointed out some of the things that I wanted to point out to you. It's really all I've got on this video today. Like I say, kind of just an addendum to what Kansas Prepper had added. It was something I was already thinking about when he put that video out, and so I thought I would just add this as something else that you guys could look at. Again, I'm going to include the link, or attempt to, that is, to Kansas Prepper's video on the topic in my comment section. I'm also going to include the link to Zombie Farmer's live stream that he did last night. Now, this live stream that he did was a test of the live stream system, and he and I and Kansas Prepper are planning on getting together for a 3-shot screen, however that's going to work, of the 3 of us in our respective different locations, having a question and answer session for you guys, our viewers. And so we're working on that. There's a possibility that Zombie and myself will be doing a test run of just the 2 of us this evening. And the only reason I say it that way is because we're going to try and get ourselves synced up and see if we can make the process happen. And it may end up getting uploaded to YouTube because we're going to try that process too to make sure it can be. So not sure if that's going to be something that you'll be looking for and will stay, or if it'll be something we'll just do a test and make sure it's running and then pull it down. Either way, be looking for that. I'm sure it'll be announced on all 3 of our channels when we actually have all the kinks worked out and we can broadcast it. But we're all 3 excited about it. We've been in contact. We've been trying to put our tech brains together to come up with the right way to do it. And we're getting there. I think we've just about got all the details worked out. But anyway, that being said, I'm also going to, like I say, I'm going to put a link to Zombie Farmer's live stream from last night, and then I'll put a link to Kansas Prepper's Fortifying His Home video. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll put it in there. And I thank you guys for joining me. Thanks for all my new subscribers. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. And again, like I say, look forward to this magnificent trio live stream video that myself, Real World Prepper, and Zombie Farmer and Kansas Prepper are planning very soon. And hopefully we'll announce that to you, give you some time to know when it's coming so you can be looking for it. All right, guys, thanks a bunch. See you next time. Real World Prepper.